it going tonight? So I thought I would invite Ranting Monkey because I haven't really been keeping up with current affairs this week. And I wanted to know what we know so far about the memo, release the memo hashtag and all that. So how you doing, Monkey?
Oh, I'm good. Yeah, this memo thing has been quite fun the last 24 hours.
Yeah, I've just seen basically what people have been tweeting and the fact that it was apparently the #1 trending thing in the world, and then Twitter just took it away, suppressed it or something.
It was weird. Last night when I first heard about this, I was on with Irate Bear, and somebody in the chat told us to go check it out, and we went and checked it out. And for him, it was nowhere on Twitter. For me, it was still top trending.
Okay. Well, that's
so yeah,
divide and conquer, huh?
You just hide it, from half the world.
Yeah.
It's not like they care about it anyway.
Yeah, because then they can go fight over that instead.
Yeah, indeed.
Is it trending? No, it's not. Yes, it is. Fuck off.
Yeah, when I jumped on earlier today, it was still on there, but I'm not seeing it up there right now. Yeah, at one point it had like 700,000 tweets out there. It was amazing.
Yeah. By the time I saw it, it was totally gone, way gone. So I didn't see any trending on that thing. But anyway, what do we know about it so far?
Well, unfortunately, not too much. It's been very vague what they've been able to talk about because it's still classified.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Devin Nunes is the chairman of the Congressional House Intelligence Committee.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that committee. They're looking into the Russian investigation, of course. And this is a 4-page memo that it's hard to tell what this is because sometimes what's referred to as a memo is actually like the finishing up what they do. They'll make a short synopsis of everything they found. And they do this for any kind of investigation they do, any kind of committee business.
Right.
So whether or not this is the official final report or whether it's just something that was written up, we don't know. But what happened is the Intelligence Committee made this memo,
mm-hmm.
and they had a vote on whether or not to release it to the full House. It passed on party lines. All Democrats voted no, all Republicans yes. Republicans control the committee, so it passed.
Mm-hmm.
It went to the full House, and depending on who you listen to, some Democrats are really upset about this too. If you listen to other Republicans, the Democrats aren't even looking at it. But the meat of it, the reason that this has become an issue is that
mm-hmm.
several Republican House members have come out and said that the information in here is explosive. That if we, the people, saw it, we would be just amazed at it. One congressman said it was worse than Watergate.
Right.
And with everything,
that's what I saw.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Yeah, I was just going to say that's exactly what I've seen. It's like worse than Watergate. Okay, Jesus Christ, how can that be classified if it's like the government committing crimes?
Well, because it regards FISA.
Right.
Yeah, so it's the wiretapping that we do to foreign agents that sometimes traps Americans, and then it has to go before a FISA judge who says yes or no, you can continue to listen to these people.
Right.
Excuse me. And this is all guess because we don't know. But from the sounds of it, it sounds like the Justice Department, specifically the FBI, was using the information that they gathered to try to hurt the Trump campaign, specifically by painting a picture of Russian collusion.
Right. That would be quite ironic.
Yeah.
If it turns out to be not just a nothing burger, but actual fucking illegal activity going on there. That would be beautiful.
Yeah. Matt Gaetz, who's from Florida, he's a congressman from Florida. He actually went so far as to say he thinks people at the FBI and Justice Department will end up in jail over this shit.
Well, you would have to assume so if it's going to be worse than Watergate, right?
Well, yeah, and if they're illegally using wiretaps, it's exactly like fucking Watergate, except for with government approval at some point.
Right, right. Let me just get a couple of super chats. So
Sure, sure.
doing that. And it's actually from King's player Damocles, both of them. So he says first, oh my God, two of my two favorite creators, Notice Me Senpais. Okay, noticed.
How you doing, King's player?
Is that a friend of yours?
He's a regular viewer of our stream. Yeah.
Right, right. Well, you've been noticed by both of us, so thanks for that donation. He also says, what's your stance on tongue buttering turtle caves? Is that your internal joke?
That is a meme from our stream. Scriblight, who is one of the co-hosts there, he has a way with words, and we were trying to come up with a nice way of saying licking ass. And that was the euphemism he came up with, and it's been spread around streams far and wide. And Kingslayer, I love you for that.
Well, I mean, you do you. I'm not into licking ass, so just putting.
Thank you. I agree.
Let's see here. Tuxie Squid Guy says, "Notice me, senpai, and consider yourself noticed." You want to notice too, Monkey?
Yeah, yeah. Hi there, Tuxie Squid Guy.
All right, so back to the story. Right, so it would be like Watergate. Is what they're saying, and that would be some serious shit. Obviously, there would have to be something that would put someone in jail for sure.
Yeah, definitely, and because this would even be worse than Watergate. For people who don't remember Watergate, I'm old as hell. I wasn't even alive for it, but we learned about it quite a bit in school. Right. There were Republican operatives who broke into an office at the Watergate Hotel and got busted for it. It ended up bringing down President Nixon, not because he actually knew what was involved, but he lied about knowing stuff later. And there's no indication that anything they found affected anything. It was a low-level office. But in this case, they're actually talking about collusion to make a presidential candidate look bad using government documents, government information. So, I mean, this is Watergate on steroids, if that's what that really is.
Yeah. That would be unbelievable. That is really the government trying to fix itself up, or set itself up to not have to be accountable to any voters.
Yeah, exactly.
And just select whoever they want to receive the presidency.
And that's one of the dirtiest parts of that. If that's what's happening, and again, I have to stress that this is just
nobody knows.
Yeah. If that's what happened and it had worked, if Hillary had been elected, none of this would ever be looked at. Yeah. Literally none of it, because nobody would care. Nobody would be, trying to push the Trump narrative. As soon as he lost the election, it would go away.
Right.
And that makes it look like it goes even higher than just the Justice Department. And we already know under Obama that the IRS was used for political means. So I really want to see this report, this memo, and not just the memo. I want them to release all of the information around it, so that there's no guess. Even if it just comes out that it's a memo that tells us about Trump's favorite pizza, I want to see it.
Yeah. Now the whole world wants to see it. So Jesus Christ, we have to see it at some point. The pressure is going to be enormous on that.
Oh, Dater Luke comes in chat and asks if the memo is legit. Yeah. As far as we know, yeah. It's a legit memo.
I don't think multiple congressmen would go out and talk about it unless it was legit.
Well, we have had times. This is what I was talking about at the beginning part with the conclusion reports that they draw up. I'm missing the word that I need there. The the final report that they do when they have these investigations, those are
Mhm.
often highly partisan,
Right.
and they can make things look worse than they are. But to have your congressman coming out and actually saying, you know what, people are going to end up in jail over this, that is rare. I can't remember a time I've seen that.
Right. But I mean, I was making the distinction that this is not, something they found on the floor of a building. This is a real thing from the actual
Oh yeah,
administration. This is it is a real document. Whether the thing in there is as bad as they say or not, we don't know. But it is legit in that sense, right?
yeah, yeah. This came from the House Intelligence Committee.
Yeah. So,
Um,
so at least it's a legitimate document. We don't know about the contents of it.
you know, uh, Dater also says, he's skeptical until he sees it. I absolutely understand that. As I said, it could just be a
Mhm.
partisan memo that they wrote to make things look worse.
Sure, but
Um,
I want to see it.
mhm.
That's certainly what I want.
The thing that gets me, and I know that this is conspiratorial, and I'm okay with it,
Hmm.
is anytime there's been anything that looks even remotely bad for Trump, it ends up leaked.
Right.
It is in the press that day. There's been nothing leaked about this.
Yeah,
So,
that was one of the points I saw people were going nuts over the fact that no one's reporting on it.
yeah, it's amazing. The only news outlet when I made my video last night that had anything on it was Fox.
Hmm.
Um, I went and searched when I woke up this morning, and I saw that NBC had a report, and a few smaller internet news sites had them. There was still nothing on CNN. I forgot to check the BBC. I usually check them too, but yeah, it's nowhere. This is the top trending story on YouTube. You have congressmen on the floor of the House saying uh, there is severe corruption in the Justice Department and the FBI, and
Yeah,
yeah, that doesn't make CNN's radar.
yeah, that's unbelievable. I mean, the only thing I saw when I did a quick Google search, like you say, it was these small sites. Like you had Salon, obviously, they were in there saying that it was all a conspiracy and
Mhm.
nothing to worry about, nothing to see here, move along, basically, things like that. So they're already spinning from that direction. But
Well, if
uh,
there's nothing to see, that's another thing. If there was nothing to see here, I would be going, yeah, release it. There's nothing to see.
mhm, for sure.
And instead, every chance the Democrats have had to vote to let this get out is no.
Yeah,
And
that's what makes it really suspicious. Because
mhm.
otherwise, if it's nothing, why not just release it? And like, yeah, they're fucking idiots. They're just trying to spin. Here's the document, right?
Yeah, exactly. And another reason that this blew up when it did is also because the FISA authorization was just voted in again yesterday. Uh, I don't know if Trump has signed it yet, but it passed the House and then it passed the Senate. And FISA is the source of all of this, from what we know.
Right.
So yeah,
That
this
is a shady thing. That is a
yeah,
shady
but see,
court.
oh, absolutely, absolutely, and we also know there's times that the FBI is absolutely. I don't want to say the FBI, could just be justice. Let me put that out there. But
Mhm.
they've ignored what the FISA courts have told them. FISA said, no, you can't do this, and they've done it anyway. I mean, it's not like they've been upfront.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, yeah. I hate the whole FISA thing. I understand why we spy on our enemies and or even our friends, to be frank.
Mhm.
But spying on Americans, no, I'm not for that.
No, I mean,
If you have a reason, but you can't just shit on the Fourth Amendment.
no, I mean exactly. It's unbelievable that we've arrived here, and you're an older guy, so you remember all the rhetoric about the Soviet Union and all their spying and shit, and how we made fun of that basically.
Oh yeah.
And now we're here. Now we're doing it. Like, what the fuck's going on?
I I hate to be like this because I don't think Obama was a horrible person.
Mhm.
I don't think he was a great leader, but I don't like to think of any of our presidents as dirty,
Right.
but there are so many things that the government did under him. Going back to the IRS thing, I mean that was absolutely dirty. And the way they leaked the story, they actually set it up to leak the story with a reporter and tried to pretend like it was no big deal. And for those of you who don't know, they were specifically targeting conservative groups and giving them problems with their 503c status.
Mm-hmm.
And they came out and admitted it. And it's like, oh, whoops, it was just it was no big deal. Just one office in Ohio was doing it. And it turns out, no, it was a huge thing that was going on throughout the country, that the IRS was targeting conservative groups, and it just all got just swept right under the table. Yeah, just mentioned in chat, the Obama DOJ was spying on reporters. We know that they were spying on leaders that were our friends. All of this crap came out under them, and now we have this that would have been under the Obama Justice Department.
Mm-hmm.
And oh dear God.
Unfortunately, Bush opened the whole floodgates with the Patriot Act.
Oh God, yes.
So he's shady too when it comes to that.
Oh yeah, I'm not laying blame solely at Obama's feet. I just think there was so much that happened under him. If Donald Trump did half of this, or if Donald Trump's administration did half of the stuff that Obama's had, there would be nonstop press coverage of it. And that's how it should be. Anytime the government's doing shady shit like this right here, like this report, there should be nonstop press coverage of this.
Of course.
They should be. Why in the hell wouldn't the press want? Do you remember when everybody wanted to be Woodward and Bernstein? They wanted to find that corruption, and now it's like, oh, I really don't want to see that.
No, they just don't want to see it. They want to push the narrative and make sure the Democrats win for some reason.
And this is all going to go. I don't think this is going to get much more traction unless it's illegally leaked, because we have the government shutdown looming. That's been the top story.
Sorry, the what?
And when that's the government shutdown.
Right.
So as long as that's the top story, then go, oh, well, that's not a real story. We can focus on this.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess they're trying to overshadow it with that. And like I said, I haven't really followed the news much this week at all, so I don't know much about that one either. But fuck, are they going to start with the shutdowns again? That's just.
I saw a headline that made me laugh. Or it was not the headline; it was the first sentence of a story. It said, "For the first time in 4 years, the government might shut down." Like 4 years is not that long, you asshole. I mean, it's
that should never happen at all.
Jesus Christ.
So just doing a super chat here. Hey Dude 77 says you're talking about CNN, the news outlet that wanted comment. I guess he's talking about Comey, right? Fired for investigating Clinton, but then called for impeachment when Trump fired him.
Yep.
That is the news network. And then BTK says shekels, about 350. Hashtag AHBW. Go ahead. Sorry.
Trying to think of what. The government shutdown is another one where I remember when I was young and hearing Ronald Reagan talk about how biased the press was. People want to talk like Trump's the first one who's ever brought it up. But my whole life I've heard about how left-leaning the press was. And I used to actually defend the press. It's like, no, they're still trying. This is what they did. They're not wrong here. You get to nowadays, they're not even trying to hide any of their biases.
Yeah.
The Democrats are literally. Exactly. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's true. I mean, I'm sure they were left-leaning before as well, but at least they maybe you got the impression that they tried to put it out of their mind when it got to the office and, tried to be objective. Obviously, it's hard to put aside your biases, but it seemed like maybe they put in a little bit of an effort to do it, but now it's just no. We're just a propaganda ministry here.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, what you would see is somebody write an article that was obviously swayed one way, but the last 3 paragraphs would, give the other side of the story. Now they don't even bother with that.
And
it's
sure,
just, no.
And you can have op-eds, obviously. That's
sure.
fine.
But like, if you look at the government shutdown that's looming right now, if it shuts down, it's all going to be because of DACA. Mm-hmm. They're going to shut down the government, a funding bill over the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, which has nothing to fucking do with it.
Imagine if the Democrats could do that for the workers.
Yeah.
Like that. No, they don't care about that. Fuck those guys.
Well, there's the military. This has been one of the big back and forths, is that if the government shuts down, the military will still have to go to work, and mm-hmm. they will eventually get paid for it, but there's no telling when. So mm-hmm. if the government were to shut down, say tomorrow, because I think we're like 12 hours left or something like that,
right?
The government doesn't pay the military until they start back up. So all of their payroll just gets paused until funding comes back in. So even though these guys who, for the record, the military doesn't make that much money, and they get paid on the 1st and the 15th, their paycheck for the 1st might not arrive on the 1st. They might not get it until almost the time that their next paycheck would be coming anyway. So we're going to have our own guys, their families, suffering for illegals.
Yeah. I mean, it's just unacceptable, because some of these guys are probably living hand to mouth, paycheck to paycheck, and all that.
Sure,
they could get in trouble with their fucking landlords and shit. It's just not acceptable to not pay them all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's going to come down to this, and it's being painted at those horrible Republicans, because they just won't let illegals stay here. And if you want to have that fight, that's fine. I actually think DACA, I don't really like it, mm-hmm. but it's also not fair to those kids to just shove them back to Mexico, Nicaragua, anywhere down south that they've never been. Mm-hmm. So I think we need to do something for them, but it has nothing to do with this budget fight, and it's a dick move to make it about that.
Yeah, that's extortion, basically.
It is, absolutely. Yeah. And the reason they're doing it is because this is a congressional election year, and the previous shutdowns we've had have always worked out well for the Democrats.
Oh, they have.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't thought of that. That's interesting. So they're just figuring they're going to get some votes from this.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Diesel Dave. That's your super chat. He says, "Don't forget your meds, monkey." I usually take them at the top of our show.
Okay, is that another in joke or what?
I have to take a lot of medicine. I have a spinal cord injury, so I'm in a lot of pain, and there's times I forget to take it. So my faithful fans, let me know.
All right, you get grumpy otherwise, or what?
No, I just a lot of pain, and you can hear it in my voice, and suddenly I'll be like, "Why do I? Oh yeah, I need to take my medicine."
People are like, "Is he on the toilet taking a shit now?" No.
Sounds like monkeys. Yeah. It's not good when that happens.
Yeah. All right.
Now this is off topic, but how have you been, man? You and I have never really gotten to talk. We've been on stream together, I think twice, but I've always been very quiet.
Okay.
And part of that, I'm going to tell you right now, is hero worship.
Okay.
When I started, there
so
were
sweet of you.
2 people inspired me when I started. It was you and Bering, and the first time I talked to either of you, I was like so nervous.
But, yeah, I know how it is. It's the same for me.
And that wears off, and it's like, hey, he's a person, but I haven't been able to keep up with you. How have you been doing?
Yeah, I've been doing good. I've been working mostly, with my day job and all that. So since YouTube is fucking with everyone, I'm not going to reward them by giving them more content. So I haven't
Sure.
been. If you don't want to, monetize shit and you don't want to pay for anything, you think I'm going to upload more to you then? No.
What did you think about the new rules?
Yeah, that was horrible. I mean, why are you beating on the little guy? It's got nothing to do with the little guys. This was instigated by a huge YouTuber, first of all. And secondly, this is your problem. Google, not Google, but YouTube, owned by Google. YouTube should take care of this. It's not really the problem of the small-time YouTubers, right?
Right, yeah. I would agree with that. I don't think it's as punitive as people think. I think that's more of a mental block. I think that 1,000 subscribers is unfair. That milestone is actually bigger than YouTube seems to think it is.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it used to be 1,000 before as well, so that's not the big problem. The big problem is that they have to have what was it, 4,000 view hours per month or something?
No, it's in a year. Yeah.
Okay, per year, whatever. But the thing is that basically kills all small, like short form animation and all that. Because if you're doing your thing and maybe you only got 1,000 subs, right? And you're only doing 30-second things. And obviously your subscribers don't all show up. So it could be a problem for people who make really short things, but still put in a shitload of effort to animate it or whatever, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So that's I think that was a lot of people got upset with that because it just sort of kills off that genre and for no good reason. Why is the watch hour important instead of the actual views?
I actually have a theory on this that I can't. There's no way to test. I have a theory that Google did this because they renegotiated ad rates and did it based on being able to say, hey, this is how many hours we can guarantee you, because that's the only thing that makes sense to me in this whole situation. Nothing else makes sense why they would make that such a barrier. I mean, it used to be 10,000 views, 10,000 views, and they changed it to 4,000 hours. And 4,000 hours isn't, for somebody like me, it's not that hard to reach. But if you have an audience of 1,000, and as you said, when no matter how big your subscriber list says, not everybody's coming to watch your video. Exactly. So hitting that 4,000, that's a bitch. And the only thing that makes sense to me is that they did it for some kind of ad rate.
Yeah, I don't know what who would they be negotiating with? You mean?
Oh, just everybody, because they're constantly negotiating ad rates with people. They have bidding for it.
I mean, what do you mean guaranteed hours? Because obviously they have all the material in the world. They don't really need to guarantee hours.
What they could do at that point is, if your ad goes on one of our videos, we're guaranteeing you at least 4,000 hours are watched on this channel each year. It's similar to the way television would work, where ads are based on how many people watch and watch time and the Nielsen ratings.
Yeah, sure. But in that case, it's sort of a cold read. In this case, they know exactly when your criteria has been met.
Oh yeah, but you can demand higher ad rates if you're guaranteeing that content is being watched 4,000 hours a year than 100 hours a year.
Well, I just don't see what it matters, because when they sell the ads, they're going to say, okay, how many views do you want? And then they're going to deliver it regardless of anything. I mean, the ad companies will buy, like, okay, I want 1 million views for my ad, and then Google puts it up 1 million times. And there you go, right?
Yeah, but if you're getting seen on a channel that one person is watching, that's a view, sure. But if you're on a channel I'm trying to make this make sense, and let me rephrase, or let me again say, it's the only way it'll make sense in my brain.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, is you're getting a better chance at a higher audience that way.
I don't
Simply
know.
because that channel is going to be watched more often.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it might just be. I think it's more sinister than that. I think it's actually that they figure that, okay, if we have, first of all, they've lowered it. So before it was lifetime, right? And now it's per year. And then they have this watch hour. So they're making sure that the entire thing is watched. And they're hoping, like, if there's some shit, it'll get flagged. That's my theory. And it, because of, they can make sure that everything has been watched for a long period of time, then the chance of catching, when that idiot's going to upload his dead bodies again is higher. It's higher, right?
Yeah. Well, and in that memo, they did actually say, we know there's problems with bigger YouTubers, and this will give us a chance to view all of their content if they're in the preferred partners program. Have you seen any of Jake Paul's other stuff? Not
No.
Jake, sorry, Logan Paul.
No,
he had a video where he's in his apartment and he's standing at the window and he's got all these fans out front looking at him, and somebody pretends to come up and shoot him in the back of the head.
Okay.
And his fans were talking. I mean, the one boy, if he was older than 9, I would be shocked. So him showing a dead body is probably one of the least offensive things I've seen him do. So for him to be in the preferred program with the other crap he's done, kiss my ass with that watch. And they're pretending they didn't see it. It got number 10 on trending. And we know for a fact shit does not go on trending without somebody at YouTube seeing it. Oh, we know that.
It's curated, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why a video with 50,000 views can make it up there. And Phil DeFranco is like never on there with 1 million views every day. Yeah,
that's unbelievable.
Yeah. So kiss my ass. We never saw it.
I don't understand why they can't just have a fucking real trending tab or whatever, which is actually automated, so you can see what the fuck are people watching, right?
Because they want to set trends. They want to force what we're watching.
Exactly. But I mean, that's what I would want. I would want a tab to see exactly what is it that people are watching actually. That's what I would want. I mean, I don't care what people at Google want me to watch.
Yeah, I've never understood why the trending tab is curated. It makes no sense.
Yeah. I mean, I never open it. It's completely pointless. But yeah.
I do it every now and then just for a laugh or to see how I do it sometimes to humble myself. Because I look on there and go, this shit is trending, and my last video got 5,000 views.
Yeah, that's not really humbling. That's just making yourself depressed.
Oh, believe me, it's humbling.
Well, and depressing.
Yes, depressing is definitely one of the words I would use. Yeah, you have another super chat there if you want to.
Okay. See here. BTK says, imagine YouTube flips the system. If a creator wants to have an uninterrupted video / streams, the creator, must pay. Cue the madness. Right power.
Oh, don't give them that idea.
That's the Facebook way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, then it would be over, obviously, because then everyone would leave.
It would be very much similar to what Patreon did to us.
Yeah. And that was just 15% it wasn't taking away money from the creator. It was actually taken away from the supporters, but still people were fucking upset. So yeah, don't try it.
Well, the reason that one, because I even made a video on that one, because what it does is it ends up punishing the people for wanting to help you. And I'm the one who made the deal with Patreon that in order to use their service, they can have this much of what's donated to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so their contract isn't with the person donating the money. So that was just a really dirty move on their part, and it hurt them so bad they changed. The problem with this Google change is Google has nothing to lose here with the YouTube change. There's nothing for them to lose.
Right.
If smaller creators stop creating, it actually helps them in the long run, because that's bandwidth that they're freeing up. That's storage space they don't have to use anymore.
That might be a reason too.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of reasons for them to do something dirty like this, but man, it's such a dick move. I am so glad that I am not under 1,000 right now, because I would have freaked out when I saw that. I absolutely would have.
Of course.
It would just be so defeating.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it'd be depressing as hell. I mean, when you're that small, you never think that you're actually going to reach those levels. I mean, I remember when I had like 50 subscribers, I was like, 1,000? That's never going to happen. So
well, I've mentioned this many times, but when I first started, I sat down and I watched all kinds of videos on how to do this. And I remember watching a video creators video, and they were talking about how to reach your first 100 subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
And I was reading through the comments, and there's this one guy. He says, I've been on YouTube for 6 years now, and I still haven't hit 100 subscribers. And I was just like, well, I'm going to lower my expectations, because holy shit.
Yeah. It's not everyone makes it, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And
just going to do the other thing here.
Yeah, go ahead.
The super chat. Kingslayer Damocles is back again. You should go on Lords of the Night sometime. That's your show, right?
Yes, you absolutely should. You should come hang out with us some night.
Mm-hmm. Sure. And the tall person says, here's some money. Thank you, tall person.
Tall person's a nice guy. Oh, I see Irate Bear. How you doing, bud?
He's in the chat, huh?
Yeah. I'm talking to your chat here.
That's good. Yeah, where were we? See.
That's my alarm telling me my stream is coming up. I have to set an alarm to remind myself.
Right. So we got like 15 minutes or something?
Yeah. I can hang out for about 15 more minutes.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, I think we've probably covered that YouTube thing, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. We've pretty much talked about what we know of the released a memo thing. Mm-hmm. We don't really know anything yet. We just want to see it.
Yeah, like I said, there's things you can guess from what has been said, but unfortunately, yeah, we don't know anything yet.
Yeah. So was there anything else I should know that happened while I didn't pay attention to the news this week?
Oh, God, I'm trying to think. See, this is one of the problems of doing a stream 6 nights a week where we talk about the news. It all starts to run together.
Yeah, I can imagine. Every night except one night, Jesus.
After the new year, we got a lot of people asking us, what was your favorite story you covered this last year? What's the most depressing story? I'm like, I don't remember what we talked about last night. I really don't.
Oh yeah. That's got to be weird doing it every night.
When I first started streaming, I got addicted to it.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually, tomorrow night marks the 1-year anniversary of me streaming.
Okay.
And it all started with me and Scribelight. I really wanted to try it. I'd been on other people's streams, and we just happened to be talking, and I mentioned that I wanted to stream, but I didn't think I could do it. And he walked me through how to do it. And it just turned out that like every night after that, I would be bored and be like, hey, dude, you want to stream? And we'd start doing it. So it's not as hard as you. There are some nights, I'm not going to lie, there's some nights where it's like, I don't even know what to talk about anymore.
Yeah. What do you do when there's nothing interesting in the news?
Mostly I say offensive things that make me laugh.
You just I'll out there like dick, pussy, whatever.
Well, One of my favorites was the night I told my audience that I would love to bang Christy Winters, and got rather graphic about it. It made me laugh.
Yeah. Obviously, I love offensive humor.
Everyone indeed. Well, I mentioned that you and Bering were my inspirations. I wrote a blog for like 10 years, and it was largely offensive shit. Not like grossly offensive, just dark humor and news stories and stuff. And it was when I watched you two guys and realized how well you were doing, I was like, you know what? This is my home, because I never found an audience writing. But I'm watching you two. I'm like, I belong here, because this is where you can do it. This is where you can be yourself, and people appreciate it. And yeah, sure, there's a lot of people who get offended, but fuck them.
Of course. I mean, you can't just you can't walk around and saying that. What is it? Yeah, that was the Jordan Peterson interview.
Oh my God! Did you watch that?
Yeah. Like, what gives you the right to say something offensive? Like,
yes. Oh, that woman was horrible.
Oh my God, that was so. I wanted to fucking punch the screen when I saw that.
Oh.
I mean, the thing is, like, you don't have the right to not be offended, asshole. You have the right to offend. You have free speech, but you don't have any fucking. There's no such thing in the Constitution. You have no right to not be offended. The only person who has the right to not be offended is a fucking dictator who can have that person killed.
Sure.
That's the only way you can stay away from being offended.
And there's a reason for that, is because people can literally be offended by anything.
Yeah. Anything.
And you can't. I mean, Jordan Peterson is in Canada, and the laws they were talking about are up there, but they have free expression. I'm using air quotes. You can't say that. Free expression up there. But they're quickly moving to the point where, yeah, it's your feelings matter more than somebody's actual right to something that's tangible versus somebody's feelings.
Yeah, something that can't be quantized or, measured in any way.
Yeah, and you always have the option of turning shit off. George Carlin talked about this fucking 30 years ago. If you're offended by something, change the goddamn channel. Don't try to ban everybody else from seeing it. I don't care about your fucking feelings. I really don't.
Exactly.
I hope people feel good. But if I say something that offends you, fuck off. I mean...
Yeah, it's like, you ever watch Steve Hughes?
Steve Hughes, that sounds familiar.
It's a comedian. It's another one of those Australian comedians. He's got this routine where he's like,
Oh yes, I know him.
Nothing happens when you're offended. Nothing happens. You can be offended. Fuck you. It's I don't remember it that well, but that line sort of stuck with me. He's got probably like a 5-minute chunk where he's just going over what makes people offended and blah blah blah, and he's like, yeah, well, fuck it, boy bands offend me. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. Yeah, and it's amazing to me how many people are willing to give up their free speech over other people being offended.
Yeah, I don't care.
Asinine.
I don't care. I don't care about your feelings.
And the worst part is, you know what? It's not the people who get offended that are making change. It's the people who go, why do you need to offend them? Maybe we should just be nice. No, fuck you. It's wishy-washy people who.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't watch. Maybe you should change the channel. How about that?
Yeah, tell them not to watch me if they're offended by it, because I really don't give a fuck about their feelings. And it's I remember when because I know Milo has said that. There's a few other prominent people have said, fuck your feelings, I don't care about your feelings. And people get really mad about that.
Yeah,
like their feelings are the most important thing on the planet.
Yeah, I don't get that. Like, don't watch him. Simple as that.
Well, I don't know how old you are, but I'm 42. I was raised with the phrase, sticks and stones.
Of course.
And I took that to heart, I mean, words cannot hurt me, period.
That's the way it is. And they literally can't.
Except sometime after I left high school, feelings became the words. I actually remember this people saying this. Words hurt more than actual violence. I'm like, are you?
I know it's just crazy.
I broke 3 bones in my hand one time, and I have never had an emotion that hurt that bad.
No.
Never had to get a cast on my emotions.
Exactly. Oh my god! Okay,
Can you imagine getting to a point where people have to go to the doctors because their emotions hurt?
Isn't that what they do though?
Well, they do, yeah. But I mean, like, go to the emergency room. He made me cry. He said a bad word.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But that's pretty much what they do.
Yeah. It's sad we've actually gotten to that point.
Yeah. All right. Super chat from Guyver Yoda. I'm never going to get 1,000K, but the monetization scares me less. The access to tools. Okay, I don't know what you mean.
Oh, the access to tools. For that, let me help you out here. Google came or YouTube came out and said most of the tools that you'd use are still going to be there. You can still use custom thumbnails. I forget what all they are. There's a page you can look it up.
Oh, okay. You mean like that? All right.
Yeah, because it used to be you had to be monetized in order to use custom thumbnails. That's not the case anymore. So
okay.
Go look it up. There's a lot of things you still get to use. You can't use super chats, I know, and there's one other thing you can't use, but pretty much everything else is still open to you.
Right. But the main thing I would, if I could make a wish to Google, is that they actually started allowing super chats or super comments for videos, so it actually paid to do real videos. You can put you can put some effort into it and make a nice video and have that pay off. So
yeah, that would be nice.
That would be a nice thing, I think.
Well, you're kind of going to get that if their sponsorship thing goes through. It's sort of like Patreon, so kind of, but yeah, an actual video thing like that would be great.
Yeah. Oh, well, we'll see. Trez Silverwolf says, I hope you both consider coming on to Suit Yourself Live this year, and request for Undoomed Discord server, for an Undoomed Discord server. Sure. I haven't been on Suit Yourself's live show, but of course I like Suit, so I'll be sure to do that. And Undoomed Discord server. I don't know. Discord has given me a bad taste for obvious reasons. Seems like a bad program.
It's actually it's really nice. I have one and I used to use it a lot, but honestly I just forgot it was there. And all the people who used to use my server went and made their own, so it just sits there now.
Yeah.
And
I suppose I could set one up, but I don't know. It's just been so much fucking talk about this fucking Crown Tea thing, and I was like, oh fucking hell, this Discord thing seems like something you should stay away from.
No, it was the people, not the service. As for Suit, I think I was on like his second or third stream ever. Me and Suit get along pretty well. I talked to him the other night on Mundane Matt's channel, so I'd be happy to go on with him.
Yeah. He's great. I've had Suit on my channel, and he's awesome. He's been in both streams and had a guest video. So I love Suit. Gray Mage says, "Hey, Undoomed, off topic, but I like the beautiful red hair woman who holds the picture during your intro." Okay. All right, don't whack off too hard now.
Take it slow.
Take it slow. Take it doucement.
Real slow.
Tall person. Yeah, I was thinking about that. What was that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where he's a secret agent?
Oh, True Lies.
True Lies. Yeah, and she has to strip. Like Yeah, do it real slow. Do slow. Tall person. It makes me laugh, cry, and angry, but people actually called 911 when Trump was elected.
Yes, true story.
Oh yeah, that was probably that girl who screamed, made the Darth Vader no scream outside the building.
Oh
There.
God, yes.
Jeez,
The
that was,
reaction to him being elected was awesome.
yeah, that was some grade A salt and cringe right there.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, and King player Democles is back. Is asked if cereal soup.
That's another one of my
It's another
memes
one of
from my
yours.
channel. I love you guys. So we need an answer. Cereal soup.
Yeah. What do you say?
I say yes. I say it's breakfast soup, and it's amazing how many people get pissed off by that notion.
Okay. Well, I mean, why not? It's a liquid form of food. Got some crunchy things in there, but you could have like croutons and soup.
I just want to point out, guys, Undoomed has gone with me on both of these. I win again.
I don't know. Is that some sort of meme on your channel? Does it matter, or usually?
It started, we talked a moment ago about what we do when there's nothing to talk about.
Mhm.
And this came up one night because there's been an argument in my house. My son brought it up one time, and it did it. There's me, my wife, my daughter, and my two sons, and we've had many arguments about this. So I thought, what the hell? I'll bring it up on here. And me and some dumb American ended up having like a 45-minute argument over it. And it is just blown up from there. It hits Twitter often, and yeah, if you watch any other streams, you'll see super chats from my wonderful viewers who throw
Right.
those two things out there, and I love you guys for it.
I was just like, who cares? That was my first thought.
Yeah, and that's probably the right reaction.
But sure, if you want it to be soup, we can have it be soup. That's fine.
and on that note, I am gonna have to leave. I have 5 minutes till my stream, so I really enjoyed talking to you, dude.
Yeah. Should do it again.
Absolutely. Well, I'll have to get you on our stream. I'll hit you in DMs and we'll arrange something there. So I appreciate you having me on.
All right. Good luck with your stream and all that.
All right, man. You take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
All right. So it's just you and me now, chat. Just gonna spend a couple of minutes with you, and then I'll be heading off. I've been rendering here in the background, so I will be uploading a video as soon as I'm done here. So there's that. So do you have any closing arguments, chat? Let's see here. Don't go. Well, don't you want me to upload though? Top 10 anime friendships. I don't know about that. Don't know anime. Should ask some weeaboo about that. Yay, new video. That's good. I'm doomed to ask Monkey for the link. I mean, for his live stream, just search for Ranting Monkey, and you shall find it. The Orville thoughts. Oh, I love the Orville. It's so much better than the new fucking Star Trek. Jesus Christ, I love that they have all those awkward jokes in there, and they can be like really sexual sometimes, because obviously that's always fun. Let's see here. Just got on here. What's going on? Yeah, I just had a chat with Ranting Monkey, and I'm just spending some time with you. Console or PC? Yeah, PC. Star Trek is trash. I agree. Well, nowadays, the old one was good. Uh, Bearing Cabin Evan, a super chat says, "Tell Elandrino happy birthday with money I won't give. I won't give him." Okay, is it his birthday today? Happy birthday, Eldrino. No, Edrino. What the hell is it? Edindro. What the hell? Happy birthday, Edindro. Fuck, that's a weird name. Please read 50 Shades of Grey. No. That would probably be the last book I would read for you guys if I could. Let's see here. Battlestar Galactica or Babylon 5? Well, if you're talking about the new Battlestar Galactica all day long, then that one is fucking awesome. I love Commander Adama. Michael is a boy's name. Yep. You think they might have been trying to do some politically correct point there? Yep. They sure were. What's your next video about? Well, you will see in a couple of minutes. Kilroy failure and did Dave Cullen leave Twitter? Yes, as far as I know, Dave Cullen left Twitter. And as far as I know, Kilroy is half failed. I don't really know. I think they're still putting it on, but it seems to be a shell of what it was supposed to be. I wasn't planning on going, so I never really kept up with it. What the hell? Geroyus. I don't know how to pronounce that. Geroyus Sinsto says, thoughts on Petscop? Okay, you lost me. Is that some news story or something? Don't know what I'm supposed to comment on that. Do you actually get ad revenue? It happens, but very, very seldom. It's like probably 95% of the videos get demonetized. So it can happen. It can sneak by, like maybe like an hour. You upload something and then it gets monetized for an hour, and then bam, demonetized. So after you've waited an hour, that's usually fucked. So 95% gets completely demonetized. Edinrow Whitehall unsubscribed. Well, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name. New Star Wars thoughts. I don't know. It just seems like propaganda, basically. I mean, it's still technically nice with all nice cinematography and nice effects and nice music and all that, but yeah, they're just, everything has to have a fucking political message now. We can't just have fucking entertainment. I don't know why. Thoughts on liberalists? I don't know, man. I really can't figure out what the difference is between liberalists and a liberal. What's the difference between being a liberal? I guess they're saying that it's being an activist, but I don't really get it, and I think it was kind of weird to take that name because it automatically shuts out all the right wing people that like Sargon. So I don't know. I mean, obviously, it's nice that he's trying to do something good for the world, I guess, but I don't get it. And obviously, I don't want to be held responsible for what some group does. So I'm not gonna say that I'm a part of it. Uh, do you know the way? I am the way. There you go. Mm-hmm. Do you like creepy pastas? Or do you have some basis in Slenderman? Yeah. I mean, it's basically it was a coincidence. I didn't base my avatar on Slenderman. It just sort of hit me when I was done with it. Like, yeah, this is kind of like Slenderman. Um, so that was just then I figured, wow, that's awesome. Let's go with that. But I didn't really I didn't even really know that much about Slenderman when I designed it. It's just something that I found out when it was done. What are your thoughts on the alt right? That I'm fucking bored to tears with it. I have heard every goddamn person talk about it for hours and hours and hours and live streams and debates and fucking videos. Oh, I'm sick and tired of that fucking thing. What else? Favorite Scotch whiskey? I would say Dalwhinnie or Lagavulin. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that, but those are those are really nice. Um, favorite band? Hmm, probably Daft Punk or something. It changes so much over every fucking year. Daft Punk. Mm, all right. So I guess I'm going to wrap this up and start uploading that video. So thank you very much for stopping by. Thank you for all the super chats. That should be it. Right. Okay. So thank you very much. I will see you next time and make sure you watch that new video in a while. Bye bye.